Hello, Chemistry, Mr. McKee here, and I want to talk about how to successfully complete the density lab that we recently started. So I'm going to begin with part one, which is the mass measurements. So the first thing to note is that our balances, our electronic balances, are precise to the hundredths place. That's the second decimal point right here. So make sure to always include that level of detail in your answers. Go to the hundredths place when you're writing information down. As far as actually using the electronic balances, they're pretty straightforward. You're just going to press and hold the 0 button in order to turn them on, and then make sure before you put the mass on top of the balance, make sure that you zero it each time so that it reads 0. Okay. Let's get into recording the data. So we're going to look at data table 1. So data table 1 is, as I said, for masses. First thing you want to put down is your box numbers. So in this case, I've got box number 7. I am Joel, and my group members are Tim, Jose, and Damien. So over here on the left, we've got our metal samples. There's 5 of them, and they're labeled A, B, C, D, and E. Let me know if the labels are not clear on those pieces of metal. So we begin, each of us is going to put piece of metal A on the balance and determine the mass. And in this case, we all had 30.54 or 30.53, which is a reasonable amount of error, except for Damien. He was quite a ways off. So in this case, we would not want to write that number down and include it in our average. Rather, we'd want to talk to Damien and say, hey, Damien, show us how you calculated this mass here, and let's double check it to make sure that you're correct, because it's pretty clear that either Damien is wrong or the other 3 of us are wrong. So you never put an obviously wrong piece of data in there with the rest of your good data. All right. So if we get rid of that, then our average is going to be around 30.54. Remember how to so let's say Damien re-measured the mass and got 30.53. That would put the average right around 30.54 there. Remember how to calculate average. You add the 4 numbers up and then divide by the number of things that you are averaging, which is 4. So we would do that with piece of metal B, piece of metal C, piece of metal D, and piece of metal E also. And we put all those numbers in here. And the goal is to have an average mass for each piece of metal. That's the main point of data table 1.